What's going on, everybody? Stock Jock here, up $2,405 the first hour of trading. I finished the day up over just over 4,000, so really good day trading today. This morning I was up over 3,000, gave some back as I kept trying different things. Didn't like that too much. Nothing. It seemed like I had one winner and the rest of them were losers. So I don't really like giving money back, but again, I did end the day on a higher note, being up 4,000. But again, the first hour trading up 2405. Let's get in the trades. So my first trade was on PHAS. This is a pharmaceutical company. They had positive phase one data out. If you don't know anything about all these pharmaceutical companies and how they have to go through all these trials to get their drugs approved. Basically, there's phase one, phase two, phase three. If you meet all your primary endpoints of phase three, then you go and you try to get your drug approved by the FDA board. And if they like it, they approve it. If they don't, they get rejected and your stock goes to nothing. So with the phases, phase one being the most broad and the simplest of trials, usually I'd say 99% of the time, a pharmaceutical company will meet its primary endpoint of phase one. So it's not the strongest of news. In any case, this stock this company put out positive phase one data. The thing shoots from freaking. Oh, and someone knew ahead of time. Look at this, right on the daily chart. Oh, let's just go from 275. What is this? 275 to $4 in 2 days for no reason. So anyway. This thing went from 380 to pre-market high of almost $9 on this news, and that is weak news. So out of the gates, I was watching this for any kind of weakness to see if it would be shortable, and this thing moved like crazy. So it shot up from $7 to, wait, what was the pre-market high again? Oh, jeez, this thing went to 1183 pre-market. This is ridiculous. So anyway. Out of the gates, this thing goes high day, 888, comes down, tests the VWAP, bounces off VWAP, comes down again, candle under candle, breaks VWAP. So it's kind of set in a double bottom here. So that's actually kind of bullish. And I don't think I was actually paying attention to that when I went long on this. Sometimes I miss things, and that was probably it. So, or maybe not. I actually think I saw it now that I'm kind of looking at my entry here. So what I was looking for is, this is a bullish sign, right? If you're going long, you want to see kind of a double bottom and then maybe play the next candle over candle, which happens right here, for next move up. So I was hoping that this would fail, and when you watch the video, it does fail. It goes candle over candle, goes up to this resistance level that it's made, and comes right back down pretty hard. So I go short. I think it was 807 or 809, somewhere around here. And now that we've failed this candle over candle, I'm thinking that the next candle under candle will lead to the fallout, the break of this level here, and on down she goes. All right, so the next candle opens up. This thing, chat rooms start pumping it, and it rips high, breaks it. And I'm telling myself, okay, my stop loss is right here. I got in around 810, 8.9. I can't remember. You'll see it when I run it live. It shoots up, comes back down. I'm telling myself, okay, I'll just stop out high of this candle. So I'm in it. This thing shoots up 50 cents, 60 cents. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because chat rooms are in it now, and thousands of followers are in it. So it breaks 50, and it comes right back down to into the 40 area. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. A lot of longs are probably trapped now. You'll hear me say I should stop out, and I probably would have. It shot up and came back down. I was looking for a little bit more creep down to sell into, so I wasn't, trying to manage my loss here. Because this thing, the float was actually like 20 million, but it was moving like a 1 million share float. You'll see how fast this thing moves. So like 200,000 shares of volume moved at 60 cents in a heartbeat, 60, 70 cents in a heartbeat. Kind of scary. When I run the live clip, you'll see my P&L up here, unrealized, will be like negative 1,200 at one point in seconds. So then I start the same chat room and this was Warrior Trading, that played this and made money on it. they switch gears and they go to a different stock. And when they sell, boom, it just completely falls apart. And I get that break at this level that I wanted. It's just completely breaking down. So now, like if you were to draw a Fibonacci on this, if you're like saying, okay, you know, here's the Fibonacci, a healthy pullback would come down to like the 61% level. Well, this candlestick here breaks that 61 and holds below it, kind of tested a little bit and continued on down. So now you're saying this is just a weak move, right? No business. It had no business making this move because it couldn't hold the Fibonacci levels. So let me get rid of that. So when it breaks this, I'm telling myself, okay, what are some of the next levels I need to watch? And after that, it was this level right here. I was looking for that break. We got that here. After that, I was like, okay, what's the Fibonacci's of this overall gap up? And I kind of drew them like this. And I was like, okay, maybe it gets down to, 6 or 570 today. And sure enough, look where it went to. Low day was basically 546. Just slipped through that 50-cent level. That's a Fibonacci level for sure, and then bounce from there. So I can't remember where I covered. Hello. So when I run the clip, I think it was right here. Yeah, it was right here. So drop. Now after it breaks these levels, I'm looking for drop, relief bounce, candle under candle continuation. So this is a drop, bounce, candle under candle continuation. Good volume. Relief bounce, candle under candle continuation. Lighter volume, right? So you can see the drop here was good, healthy volume, 150,000 shares, 100,000 shares, whatever. This initial drop, 70,000 shares. The bounce almost bounces 100% of the move. So I think I covered in here. I can't remember. I might have gotten one more candle under candle breakdown, but I don't. Either way, it was a really good win. I made about $3,000 on this whole trade. Really nice win to start the day. So over 25's first 1 minute. There it is. I want to see it fail.
The $0.50. That's the spot to watch.
Not the boost that longs would be looking for. So this is definitely in the fail wheelhouse right now. Break of 8, I'd probably go short.
CIFS, I'm not super interested in.
All right, I'm short 813. PHAS.
That looks like they got some agreements for the 4.2 million 12-month warrants.
Stop loss probably over 842.
And exercise price at 4.
Boeing shares ticker BA opening down about 2.25% this morning. Shares are under the $370 level. There was reports over the weekend that safety analysis Boeing had presented to the FAA for its control system on the 737 MAX had shown crucial flaws, and once again, shares of Boeing are down more than 2% at the open this morning.
26 million share float, up quite a bit. Okay, let me look at that.
Okay, so this is
I'm going to add here on PHAS for the break over the $0.50. There's 75. Target.
I need to be stopping
$9.
out.
INNT I'm watching as well. INNT over 80. I'm long INNT here. And I stopped out of the rest of PHAS. Long INNT.
Oof. Okay. I'm gonna hold. Jeez, that was just a bull trap.
PHAS is only $134 winner. One-minute candles 85.
So still holding short as it's really selling off here. PHAS.
Over 85 would be a 1-minute micro pullback.
Get an offering for 4.3 million shares.
So a little relief bounce here on PHS. Look for the next candle under candle for continuation. 715 break is what I'm looking for now to test 7. Looks super bearish. Look at the topping tails on these things right now. $730 levels, a little fight. Long's put up a little fight there.
High on JR is 325.
So now I'm looking for the break of 728.
11 million shares of volume.
Charm's buying. Oh, did they buy? Okay, there's the candle under candle on PHAS. I want to see continuation immediately. It's good selling off. I want to break the 720. Good. 711. Break 708. Good. Break 7. Good. Good. There's another little relief bounce. It would be ideal to see $7 hold for me to stay short.
This morning.
The first Fibonacci level here is basically at 690, which we're testing right here. Doesn't look like this bounce is going to be too bullish.
From $80 to $94 at ticker OKTA. Also on the rating side of things this morning, shares of Facebook trading down about 3%. There was a medium downgrade this morning, downgrading from buy to hold, and also Bank of America analysts lowered the price target on Facebook from $205 to $187 while reiterating a buy rating, and shares of Facebook are trading down about 3% this morning, ticker FB.
Still a really nice push lower here on PHAS. Looking for the 650 break now. Watching this 1 minute candle under candle on PHS, see if it continues down.
Yeah, and there, that's far away, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. So yeah, you see those dips getting bought up.
There it is. Want to test 650 now. Broke it. Nice. Now we're testing the 50% Fibonacci levels here.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't see it, but it's possible it's there, and if it is, that could be a problem. PHAS, this is kind of what I was worried about. that it's gapping up so much that it would just roll over. It's always a risk with these ones that are up as much as they are pre-market.
All right, I'm all covered. 657 average on
INNT, I
PHAS.
jumped in at
Reclaimed
$4
that
off the
50-cent level
standard,
after it
moved
broke
up,
it.
was up
So
32
you know what?
cents, didn't
I'm gonna
take the
take the
profit, and
win.
then it
One
dropped
trade,
60 cents on the false halt. So
$3,113
got out of it right here. First
in
one
18
candle make a
minutes.
new high back up to 90.
I'll play it
And then
again
stopped
maybe
out the rest
for
of it,
a
dropped back down.
candle under candle after this bounce. So these next few trades were losers. The Dare was a gapper. This one was another, pharmaceutical company with some news out. Whatever. The thing was up a crazy amount. Went from $1 to a high of 325. Insane move, right? That's been the theme recently. So anyway, it was kind of bouncing around this wedge that, kind of got the support line, got this, near-term resistance line. You can almost draw it like that. It looks a little bit better. And I was like, well, okay, maybe it's going to go. It wants to break through the top side of this. So I know I went long on a few of these setups. It was probably the first one was here. It failed. I sold as it was coming back down because I definitely don't want to be in this when it breaks to the downside. Probably went long here again, looking for that candle over candle. Boom, breakthrough. Just didn't happen. Just didn't come. And then it kind of slowly grinded its way. A lot of times when they break either the bottom side or the top side, it's a violent move. This one was kind of a grind, break it, and then it fell apart. You can kind of see that there. And then went to circuit breaker halt. So it's really important to draw these support and resistance lines when they're so obvious, because a lot of traders start using them, algorithms start using them. It can be very explosive. You see the Bollinger Bands getting really tight here, telling you a move is coming, and it just so happened it was on the downside of it. So I gave back quite a bit actually through a couple of these moves, and I'll run the live clip now. We go long 303 right now. Stop loss will be below 296. Stopping out.
The Oscar Tango Yankee shares just setting a fresh session high over the last couple minutes. Saw a notable block trade, 500,000 shares at a price of 1116 COTY.
Thing with Dares, I don't know if it's going to even be worth churning shares. In this kind of area of like moving 15, 20 cents, it's just not moving enough to justify the commissions. Every time you take a trade, you're risking money, plus you're in with the cost of commissions and ECN fees. And I don't know. Right now, this one's not looking that interesting to me. INNT, jumped into it at 4. Looking for continuation.
Coming up in about 5 minutes at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we're going to be getting a reading from the National Association.
So this next play was on PHAS. This was a 5-minute candle under candle play. So I talk a lot about, pop, pullback, candle over candle, or drop, bounce, candle under candle. You do that on the 1 minute, you can do that on the 5 minute, you can do that on whatever chart you're using. So I typically like to scalp the 1 minute and 5 minute charts on that kind of setup. So here we have the drop, bounce, and then right here we have candle under candle after the bounce. So drop, bounce, candle under candle. So I go short, and you can kind of see it here on the 1 minute chart. Here's your bounce right here, and when I run the live clip, you can kind of see the bounce creates kind of like a very short term support line. Hit, bounce there, created this support line. And as I'm watching this, Bollinger Bands are tightening up again, telling me a move is coming. It starts to break through that support line, right? So I go short as soon as this candle opens up, the 5 minute, and I go short at like 642, something like that. Or no, I actually think it was in the 630s. I can't exactly remember. You'll see it. Immediately it pops back up on me. I'm like, okay, great. And I end up stopping out. And this is kind of one I regret now looking back on it. I made 650, the $half level, my stop loss, which was a bad stop loss in my opinion. I drew the support line for a reason. What I should have done is stopped out if we broke through the support line and maybe add to my position if it stays under the support line that I drew. Because the next time if I would have held 3-4 minutes later, it would have given me that move down that I was looking for. And I definitely could have covered throughout here. I wouldn't have held this long, but looking back on it, I should. A lot of times, when the stock breaks through these support lines, they'll come up and test them again. That's what it did here. Test, can't do it, failed. So I messed it up a little bit and gave back about $400.
Anything with it?
Still got 20 seconds left. It's breaking that trend line support already.
Open higher and then probably keep selling off. So I'm not going to, the place that I want to be a buyer is between $2 and $2.10 or $2.15. If I can't get in that spot, then I'm not going to probably get it at all. Stocks can get halted for months. Yeah, not on circuit breakers.
Short at
like
631.
This is halted for a very specific reason, which is because it moved more than 10%. Stocks
If it doesn't
that are
go,
halted
I'm
for
going to get
months
out.
are ones that are halted pending providing more information to the exchange. We talk about that in the classes. It does happen. Certainly not nearly as common as circuit breaker halt. So resumption in about 10 seconds here. I have an order ready at 2:11. So watching this on resumption. So I'm looking for a scalp coming out of the halt, coming back up. So I've got a starter. I'm going to try to scalp this coming out of the halt.
Right at
Just a quick scalp here. Well, made a couple $100 on it. My target was that it would immediately break over 220. The scalps coming out of halts are always a little risky. He's going for a bottom bounce. The high of that 1 minute candle was 219.
All right, I'm covered.
So
198.
made like $400 on it. Quick scalp coming out of a halt.
All right, I stopped out 52. Gave me the 5 minute candle, didn't do anything. I didn't want to be in it to see what the 1 minute candle over candle does. So I'm gonna take my lump. I was like a 21-cent loss, $400.
Would be the first 1 minute candle.
Next time I would play this is if a 1 minute candle over candle failed now. It's still below this trend line now, but I didn't want to see if it got a pop for the 1 minute candle over candle. So this next trade was on AKTX. This is a pharmaceutical company, again, that absolutely went nutso from like $1.80 to $9.25 in 2 days, right? It's currently pulling back, consolidating, and a lot of times, people are looking for the next candle over candle on daily to get back in. What was interesting about this is it was actually moving in sympathy to ATOS, another pharmaceutical company that was moving up. It went from today on its consolidation day. It went from like $4 to $5.36 in a very short period of time. So people were like, "Oh, what's some other pharmaceutical companies that were pulled back? AKTX, that's one." So when I saw that ATOS was moving up and that this one was getting volume out of nowhere, I wanted to play this one. So what I saw here is it had a move up this morning, kind of consolidating throughout this area, popped through the VWAP, pulled back, and then it started. I was thinking maybe if we broke this level again, it would get the run up. So I go long 2,000 shares right around here, 485 probably. Soon after, other people jump into this thing as well. I think a chat room or two went long on this, looking for the break of high day, looking for the break of $5, and then you're on to looking at the daily chart. Can it break this 537 level right here to get the daily candle over candle? Get you really excited. And then if that happened, oh man, you're off to the races. You might test this level up here. So it got exciting for sure. As it was popping up, it started to get a little spiky. You can kind of see that right here in this candlestick. Let me get a little closer in here. Red candle popped up, came right back down. And as I was seeing that, we're above the Bollinger Band lines. It was due a pullback. So I'm just like, you know what, let me take my profits. I can always get back into it. And, hindsight also looking at it, declining volume, ascending price. That's a divergence. Volume's going down, price is going up. That's a bearish sign. And it did pull back. Kind of see that there. It would have been a good buy at the VWAP the first time. You could have made some money off of that. But I just sold throughout this. I think I sold some at 510 and some maybe at 5. I can't remember. You'll see it when I run the live clip. Oh, I did have a trade before this on Dare again, but it was boring, so I didn't cover it.
So ATOS could watch what it does here over the highs. With the doji, it's a little hard to trust that it's actually going to hold these levels. 73. Halt levels at 98. If I was short, my stop would probably be 480.
Long AKTX 43. I think ATOS is dragging this thing up.
High day on AKTX was 502. First daily candle to make a new high is over 537. So there's 95 on ATOS, going a little higher. AKTX popping up as well.
It's 15,000 shares. It's seller at 5, which is unfortunate.
Watch AKTX over $5.
It's going to slow any kind of pop this move could do. Let's see if the buyers come in at 5. Oh, wow. Okay, there's a new high.
Take a starter of AKTX there for the break of 5. Trying to scalp that break.
Wow, okay.
From 5 to 510.
Okay, maybe we get this candle over candle on the daily.
A little momentum. High is 513.
Okay, I think pretty good. I mean, they had what? Yeah, I guess I saw the slides. Their number goes as of September. They had their earnings.
Over 513, a possible scalp. Gotta hold 5.
I don't know what their cash burn is, but I think the chances are pretty good.
ATOS.
Sold half at
right
5.
Under,
Wow, what did everyone do?
$5.
Just return to last week's runners.
FPHAS breaking down. That's the move I was looking for.
95 to 505.
Today's was a dud. It didn't last very long.
Okay, AKTX.
There we go.
It's going to try for that daily candle over candle.
So 517 is the new high.
It needs a pullback.
Wow, they want 500% on AKTX. Man,
I'm going to take the rest here at 510. I think it needs a pullback.
All out for right now. Sort of
I'll play the 1 minute candle over candle after a pullback on that. AKTX. And that's how I ended the first hour of trading. I did have one more trade on BIMI. I thought I was going to be able to jump in a trade that a chat room was going to get into, but they bailed, and I just lost a couple $100 on the trade actually. But yeah, good morning for sure. Ended the day up over $4,000, so really good day for me, and I'm really excited about what the rest of this week can bring. If you have any questions on my trading style, feel free to ask. Come in my free trading room. If you're losing money trading, come in the room, learn. We're here to teach. We have a lot of good people that want to teach. If you are an advanced trader and you know what you're doing, please come in the room. We could use you. And you like helping? If you like helping people, please come in. You'd fit in perfectly. Great group of people. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.